Good afternoon. Good evening, Ted. Welcome, everyone, to After Dark. We have an amazing show today, and I'm so ready.
I am glad that you are ready. At least one of us is, Kara.
I think I am. I'm not really sure. I don't think I've slept in the last 2 weeks, Ted, but I'm here, and I'm excited for today's show. I'm so glad we're live today, so we get to interact with all the comments down below. And I just want to take a second before we introduce our guest to thank our sponsors, BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. And I finally got to meet some of them recently, and they are such wonderful people. And thank you guys so much for sponsoring everything that we do.
You know, BG really is great people. And so do you remember who did you meet? Well, I don't think Darren was there, right? Was it?
I met Peter.
Oh, Peter Burlow. Yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and a few others that was there. But yeah, I caught him off guard. But I wanted to make an appearance at their booth, and great guys, all of them.
Yeah, so they do so much for the industry. So we thank them very much for all that they do. Yeah, the Fixed Ops Roundtable that we just had, March Magic, was a smash success, Kara. And we had so many people, so many wonderful speakers and panels and accolades coming in on that. We had the keynotes from Tully and Ed Roberts and Chris Chesney and, of course, Frank Lopes, right? And just a lot of great things happening at that event. So appreciate all that you did as well for that.
Yeah, just acting crazy as a sports announcer and basketball player. No, but it was really fun. And yeah, I think each event, Ted, I think you're lining up just bigger and bigger people every single time. And I think that's what gets everyone so excited and so hyped up about it, because I know it does it for me. I can't wait to see who's on the next show.
Well, I spoke with this gentleman, Tully Williams. Good evening, Tully. How are you? And Tully is going to come back at the next event in May, and Tully is going to be keynoting again. And he and I talked about that today. So, Tully, thank you so much for all that you do. And it looks like Sean Parrott is here. Sean, good evening. Welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And Michael Dean is here as well. So, all great stuff. So, and now that next show coming up, Kara, tell us a little bit about that, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm about to get really educated, I guess you could say, about Star Wars, because our next event is Let the Fort Transform Your Dealership Fixed Ops Department, and it's going to be on May 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's going to be all virtual again, and yeah, Star Wars themed. So I'm pretty excited about that 3-day event. You can go now to get your tickets actually at fixedopsroundtable.com.
And we're doing the complimentary thing again, right?
Of course.
All right. I love that so much. So now, are you going to be doing the videos like you did last time to reel people in and bring them in? What's the plan for this one here?
I think so. And I'm thinking that I might need to reach out to a few people that might be Star Wars advocates, like Michelle, my boss, Eric. And they've all been telling me all this cool stuff. And honestly, I have watched one Star Wars in my entire life. So I think my next lesson is going to be watching all of the Star Wars to be prepared to like whip out a lightsaber and promote the Fixed Ops Roundtable, because it's going to be pretty interesting. So if y'all see me acting crazy and I'm not on point with the Star Wars theme, just cut me some slack.
Well, I think Steve Apicella, who's here tonight, Steve said he'll help you with the Star Wars theme. And and looks like Tim Wilson is here. Hey, Tim, how are you? Good to see you. And Linda Hanson is here. Happy Monday, Linda. Good to see you. Thank you so much for all your support. And looks like Michael Weldon is also joining us from the Hansel Auto Group. And by the way, we do have a great guest with us, a featured guest with us tonight. So I'm really excited that he's coming on the show. He and I have been talking about it for such a long time. So I think you'll be really pleased to meet Adam Marburger, who'll be with us just a few moments. So
I'm so excited to learn everything about him, because I don't think I've ever met him before. And he seemed like a real character. I can't wait to hear about his side hobbies too.
Timothy Wilson says Kara is a Jedi. Okay, so That's interesting. So I don't know if that's one of the costumes or one of the get-ups you're going to be doing, but that would
Please
be interesting.
explain, Timothy.
And Joseph Clementi, Coach Joe, is in the house. Good to see you as well, and all great things. And this gentleman here, Frederick Lenartz, says Adam Marburger is a superstar. And you know what? Let's bring him in. I guess we can't wait any longer. Welcoming now to the Fixed Ops Roundtable After Dark is the great Adam Marburger. Adam, welcome.
Hello, welcome. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I have a question to kick us off, okay?
Bring it.
How much do you know about Star Wars?
Like nothing, like absolutely nothing. So I could pretend and we can carry a conversation. I'll make you think I know everything, but I know absolutely nothing.
Awesome. That's going to be me.
He's a good F&I. He was a good F&I manager, right? And he still got those skills as well. So, hey, Adam, Jason Rice is in the house. How about that?
I love Jason. What's up, Jason? KC.
Yeah, Jason is another huge name in our industry. So, Jason, thank you so much and appreciate all your support as well. So, Kara, Adam and I have been talking about this for a couple of months now, about him coming on the show. And Adam, I also want to thank you for your generosity and your great support of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. You give a very generous gift. So, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable community, thank you so much for that.
Happy to do it. Great foundation.
So, Adam, tell us a little bit about what you're doing now, because I know you've been in retail a long time and you started your own company. Give us some background, if that's okay.
Yeah, couple decades retail. Started off as a porter. I didn't want to be in the car business. I think we all have our unique story. I was actually a cook in a restaurant. I went with some friends to Panama City Beach and kind of lived it up a little bit, age 18. Come back into town, the restaurant owner said, hey, good news, bad news. Give me the bad. He goes, we're closing the restaurant. I go, what's the good? He goes, I used to sell cars at this Toyota store. You would be awesome. So he took me with him to the store. I said, I'm not doing that. There's no way. And so I asked to go back into the service department. So I started as a porter, fell in love. And within, half of a year or so, I was talking to selling. I fell in love instantly, dropped out of college, and pursued a career full time for almost 2 decades. I was in retail. So.
Wow. So Kara and I were just talking recently about how a lot of people get in. Nobody really has planned this, Adam, to go into the. How old were you when you started out?
18. I was a baby. I had no clue. And when that first commission check showed up, I was like, all righty then. All right. Who needs to finish college?
Yeah.
Which for the young viewers out there, finish college. It's not a bad idea, but maybe not get in the automotive industry.
So I'm curious, how did you end up in F&I? Was that, by design, or how'd that happen?
So St. Louis, that market in the summer gets really hot, and the winter it gets really cold.
Adam, not hot. It gets humid.
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. And so, moving cars, knocking snow off the cars, having the lot parties. And our sales managers thought it was really cool to reward us in our downtime with lot parties, right? I mean, why not just celebrate on the lot when we're slow? So long story short is I fell in love with the F&I people. They look good. They dress good. They drove the cool cars. I wanted to be them. And so I found a young man by the name of Paul Tedford and another gentleman by the name of Tim Wagner. Both of those guys pulled me in, took me under the wing, and showed me F&I a couple years before I even got the opportunity to do F&I. So I already knew that I wanted to do that. And I asked every day basically until I was able to get the position. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
And after how long in retail, if you don't mind, did that?
I sold cars for just shy of 3 years. So just shy of right up 3 years. And then I was an F&I manager.
And what kind of store, Adam?
Nissan. We were a Nissan dealer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Ted, Craig Schmitz.
Of course. I was going to ask you, could that be Craig's store?
Craig is one of my mentors. I worked for Craig, and I'll tell you, he's a large part of who I am today.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, actually, Craig came, Kara, to I think the second Fixed Ops Roundtable that we ever did. He flew out and he brought, I think, his Fixed Ops director, and he's got a couple stores. All
Yep.
right, from what
Yep.
I understand.
Yeah, he does well. He's got a new Nissan point he's building. He's got used car locations. Craig has got retail dialed in. The guy, and that's here. We're talking about Jason Rice earlier. That's where I met Jason. He was working at Auto Centers Nissan when I started, and that's where I met Jason.
Wow. And by the way, everybody, we are live. So if you have some questions or comments for Adam Marburger, now is the time to do that. So and that's where we met Jason Rice. Wow. So small world. Now, was that in St. Louis proper or nearby?
It was in Alton, right across the Mississippi River.
Okay.
I mean, you're really, really close to St. Louis.
Wow.
The Mississippi River separates us, basically.
Yeah. And Jason says he worked for Craig also. Look at that. Wow. So F&I. So you did that for a while and you became really, really good at it. And what, 19, 20 years, something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I loved it. I mean, it was my favorite position. And, you know, the ability to just help so many different people. I was one of those F&I guys that I get there early, hang out in service. I love meeting new people. I just love helping people. And I was in the same chair for so many years. I was selling cars. You know, I'd bring in my repeat referral business over and over. I worked at a great dealership with a great atmosphere. So it was a lot of fun.
And you know what? That's when it's the best, when it's fun, right?
It was so much fun. Absolutely.
But what gave you the inclination or the bug to start your own deal? Because that's what you have today.
Yeah. So 2017 showed up, and you know, I have some visions and aspirations. You know, I own a couple of other businesses. I'm in the real estate industry. I've got a martial arts academy. I kind of got my hands in quite a few different things, and being stuck in that retail grind within four walls and not being able to be mobile kept me from pursuing what I was meant to do. So I made the bold decision to jump right off of the deep end. And 2017 was 0 to 0, got punched in the face, elbowed on the way down, and stomped on for about 24 months. And then a company came through. Ascent Dealer Services was born, and now it's on a rocket ship. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So do you just service that area, Adam, or do you service, like, tell us a little bit about that?
So we're in all 50 states. However, we're predominantly in the Midwest. Now, we've recently opened up into the Northeast. I brought on a partner with an agent by the name of Cindy Ziba, who is just a machine. So she's up in the Northeast. We're down now in South Florida. I just spent last week there. But Missouri, Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, we're pretty heavy in those four states.
What about Texas?
Hey, we just did a deal in Texas. I've got an agent that we partner with in Austin, so we're getting ready to open up that market.
Nice.
So yeah, we're growing. I'm not out on the West Coast yet. I'm not trying to be the biggest. I just want to be the best. So we're trying to grow strategically. I want my agents to be completely trained up sufficient in their own markets before we expand. But we're having quite a bit of success. So grateful, to say the least.
And Adam, part of what you do is training also, am I right?
Yes. So we provide all of the F&I products. So for a dealer that at least represents one of our F&I products, it doesn't have to. There's a lot of greedy agents and TPAs out there that want all the business. And I can appreciate and respect that, because in a perfect world, I want it all too. But for a dealer that just offers one of our product offerings, they get our coaching and mentoring platform at no charge to the dealer. We mentor sales managers, general managers, finance directors, finance and salespeople. We stay in the front. We're not in the back. That's where you come in. But we play in the front.
Well, I played for many years only in the front, okay, and ignored everything that went on, behind that wall in the showroom. And I actually felt like I opened up a whole new world when I went back there, because there were so many things that applied to the front that were applicable to the service and parts that was just brand new to those folks. So,
and here, the way we train our F&I managers today, like the way we did it, I'll tell you right now, I don't really like the Adam Marburger in 2004. I'm not a fan of that guy. I don't like the way we did business. We weren't servant leadership quite hadn't surfaced yet. And so when we really look at it now, the F&I department and the service department, it's a symbiotic relationship. They feed each other. And so if you're serving your customer with the appropriate products that wed the customer to the service department, retention goes up, right? Everybody wins. So that's our mindset when we're training our folks. We want to make sure we have the right products that get our customers happily engaged in service. So everybody's happy, kumbaya, and we all make money.
So who does your training, Adam? Do you have employees that do that, or how do you?
Paul Brown's the head of our training and development. I help him out. I'm really responsible for acquisition. Paul, and he's got a team. His responsibility is to raise PVR. And I'll say what Paul did last year. I don't even know Paul. Paul doesn't get on Facebook often. I'll probably have to beg him to watch this or threaten him. He's getting pretty good at jiu-jitsu though, so I got to be careful with that. But Paul was a successful dealer. So when Paul's in a store, he uses his dealer hat with F&I. And last year, on average, we were at $492 PVR increase with Paul's coaching. So Paul was about a $500 increase. That's with all of our stores blended. So Paul's getting it done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is serious. Love that. And you know, I've heard about Paul Brown, but I didn't know his background until just now.
Yeah, he's got over 2 decades. 2 decades of retail experience, and wore a managing partner role for the last 3 years of his career. A couple things didn't quite work out at the closing table, and he went left. I was going right. I said, "Come up to Detroit with me," and on that flight, we worked through some things, and now Paul's a big part of the agency. He's the head of training and development.
Wow. So okay, so tell us. You mentioned the martial arts, and I got to tell you, I've seen some of your posts on social, Adam, and one of my mentors, I would say some years back, after I had a partner in the training business for many years, I bought him out, went on my own. I met this gentleman who ended up becoming a mentor who was big into the martial arts and taught me so much about what was applicable and the mindset and the way he went about things and how he applied that to training. And that actually really changed the game, I felt.
Absolutely. There's no better tool. I think martial arts is for everyone because of the discipline that comes with it, the confidence, and at some level it becomes indestructible, your confidence, which that helps you with every part of your life. And being able to know how to defend yourself, the right way is a big deal. There's so much great stuff that comes from it. And I've built my career on the platform of martial arts.
Wow.
And
I want to learn.
There's a gym around the corner from me. I'm sure there are a lot of really great schools, and our academy, we teach Brazilian jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, and we do mixed martial arts. So we want you to learn how to strike, and we want you to learn how to grapple. And we're one of those academies. We're a family. We built our gym based on the gyms that I kind of grew up in. I grew up in fight clubs. I used to get in the cage and fight people with no rules. I grew up in this crazy MMA environment. And I said, how can I build something that's conducive to families? I want people that are insecure, maybe shy. I want people that have been victim of being bullied. I want you in my gym because we will make you feel safe, and we will teach you things that'll help you in your life. And so the life change that happens on those mats is remarkable. That I will say this, that business produces the least amount of revenue out of my 5 businesses, but provides the most joy. That business provides the least amount of revenue, gives me the most joy because of the life changing that happens on those mats.
Wow.
That says a lot. I want to go back to the picture that we just had up here and tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So that was a tournament in Chicago. That was, I think, like 4 or 5 years ago. I call this the calm before the storm because you go out there on your mat, and you kind of shake your opponent's hand, you back up, and then you go at it. And so the rule set here is wrestling with submissions added. So we can work for chokes, arm locks, leg locks. And the name of the game is get your partner or your opponent to verbally quit or physically tap. And so that was in Chicago. I will say I was thankful to win that match. But yeah, I spent a lot of hours competing.
So you don't compete anymore?
It's so over the last couple of years, I had to move the competition, Adam, to the side, because when I'm in competition mode, it consumes my existence. I'm cutting weight. I can't stop thinking about my opponents. I'm always thinking about the jiu-jitsu, to where I'm not being a good father. I'm putting that aside. My business has needed me now more than ever before. So I had to choose my companies over competition. Having said that, the itch is back. I've been training really hard, and there's going to be Adam Marburger's coming back to the mat this year. I'm going to get back out there.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
Now you look really young in this picture here.
I was a baby. Like that was 23-year-old punk. If I saw him right now, I'm not trying to curse. I'll kick his butt. If I saw him right now, I'd probably take him down and choke him. What a punk that kid was. But yeah, I was a young 23-year-old F&I little wannabe cage fighter. That's who I was.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So, a lot has happened to you over the period of time, over the years. You've got a family, you've got a beautiful family. Can I show some pictures?
Yeah. I show my kiddos all for my existence.
Aww.
That's my baby Aston Marie right there. She's going to be 4 in July, and she's the sweetest thing ever.
She's so cute.
Yeah,
wow.
She owns my heart. My heart. My oldest owns my wallet. Yeah, right over there. She owns my wallet.
It's gonna get worse.
Yeah, she owns my wallet. My youngest owns my heart, and Arabelle, my middle child, she has a combination of my wallet and my heart. So,
Aww.
yeah, I'm blessed. I have beautiful daughters that are they define me. They really give me that energy to push when I'm so tired.
That's why he's got to hit the mat sometimes, because
yeah.
he's got a family full of daughters.
And I'll tell you, so my oldest daughter, Anna Lee, has been training, she's in competition dance, and they're very high level competitors. So there's no time for martial arts on, the weekends, like every other weekend. So my ex-wife lives 1 mile from me. So, I mean, I'm right there. I'm super involved. When I have them, we work on our boxing. We work on our striking. We work on certain choke techniques. My daughters, hopefully they never have to get into a fight. That one's got some work to do. But hopefully my oldest has got some deadly hands. I mean, it is scary if she had to get into a scruffle. She knows how to box.
Ooh, that's good. That keeps the boys off.
Oh yeah, she can throw it. And the thing is, when young kids, they all come like this, swinging for the fences. Yeah. So Anna's like right down the middle, right down the middle. So
I love it.
She will never know a bully.
Nope. Nope.
And you're a great teacher, Adam. So, and by the way, I was telling you before we got started, how proud I am of you, and having, number one, spent all that time in retail, but taking the initiative to start your own deal, your own business. And in just a couple of years, Adam, look how far you've come. I remember the conversations that you and I had, maybe 3 years back. And now I look at all the things that you've got going on. You're growing and you're successful, and, you're really setting yourself apart.
Yeah. I appreciate that. God is good. And I'm telling you, the seeds that were planted years ago are starting to kind of flower out now. And I'm so grateful. And I'll tell you too, it's people like you, and I talked about Craig Schmitz earlier, Jason Rice, who's brought me in to speak at some of his deals. It's the connections. It's the network of super achievers like Michelle McLean and, those type of people that bring everyone together. And it takes a village. And it because of you guys and gals, I feel I'm where I'm at. And I'm just getting started. I don't even know. Here, I tell everybody I'm a rookie. Pardon my language. I'm a rookie dumb shit agent. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm figuring it out. I'm learning, but I'm loving the journey. So
I loved how you said earlier, though, that you were kind of drugged through the trenches for a couple years until, all this came to fruition. So that's something that a lot of people, don't get to see. They see, you're successful now and you've got all this stuff. And what they didn't see was, those hard years. And I think that's important to talk about when you're talking about your business, your success, and just getting out in the world.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. And it tell you, everybody sees the wins, but a lot of people don't understand the darkness that resides in the loss, some of the setbacks that really just cripple you. A lot of people don't see that and understand that. A lot of people sure as heck don't want to share it, So, but yeah, those are the moments right there that that define you and help you grow.
Totally.
The I think there's so much growth that comes out of losing. And, if we didn't have those losses, Adam, I don't think we would be the people that we are today, because when you win, you're on top of the world and you're not worried about that. But when you lose, you kind of sit back and reflect and say, okay, what do I got to do differently? Because whatever I did didn't work. Okay, now how do I adjust my sales, and how do I get back on my game to make this thing happen? So for me in life, the losses, and I'll be the first to admit it, I've had my share, are probably the best things that have ever happened to me.
Mhm.
Amen. Amen. If I could have given any advice to the 20-year-old punk Adam, like
Yeah.
the 20s, I'd be like, hey, Adam, embrace some of these losses, man. Like, sit back, analyze them, figure them out, get back up and run harder. Like, instead of being more humble, because in your 30s and 40s, you start thinking about them and you think that way. If we could just get the younger folks to embrace that principle,
Yeah.
just figure that's the one thing that can change your life.
Okay, so I'm going to put you on the spot here, and we didn't prepare this ahead of time.
Bring it.
We're live. Adam, share with us, if you would, one loss that you wouldn't mind telling the group about, something that happened to you professionally, or somewhere along the line that made you say, you know what, I got to go ahead and I got to make some adjustments. What was something that impacted you, if you don't mind?
Okay, not a problem. This one stings, so I'll share this one. So I was right before I retired from the dealership, I was pitched this idea on a software company, and I loved the product. It made sense. They needed some capital and they needed a network. I made a deal. I had X amount of the company if I could bring the capital. Well, we did the deal. There were 2 other partners with myself, so there were 3 of us. The CEO of the company, I did not do my due diligence on this gentleman. I will keep his name off the air. He went rogue. He stole about 6 figures from me and pretty much derailed and bankrupted my company, our company. And so it was about when the dust was all settled. It was $118,000-$120,000 loss, but it stung a little because at that moment in time, I could, that 6 figures, I needed it, right?
Sure.
Well, and then after that, so in the short term, that really, really, really stung. But after, it's made me more money. That setback has made me slow down. I slow down. Before I partner, I am extra. I do more homework than I've ever done before. You cannot sell me as easy as you used to be. And I don't know if you know this, car guys are pretty easy to sell. Car guys and car gals, like we'll pay all the money. Like, show us how and why, and we'll sign for the most part. But I've learned to harden my heart a little bit and become more of a stoic. I become a stoic. And so, like, I learned so much from that. I'm a better business person now than I've ever been. And that's one of the reasons why.
Wow.
I love it. I love it from the heart. And you're right.
I'm excited about that now. So I'm thinking, like, so it's funny you say this. So I've got this book that's launching like next week.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
So my old partner, Shay's a buddy of mine. I could say his name. I took a picture of a part of one of the chapters that I talk about that moment. And I sent that to him via text last night. I was like, dude, remember this right here? And so we have some small talk because he got burned too. There was another guy that got burned as well. But, you look back, you can, I forgave him. And that was the thing. It took me the longest. I forgave myself. That one took me longer. So I forgave him, then forgave myself for making that stupid mistake. And then I moved forward from it,
Wow.
Yeah, you gotta forgive and move on. But the lessons we learn from mother experience, she's a cruel teacher, Adam, but she's the best, and we don't forget those anytime soon.
Agreed.
I love it, Adam. So we are so grateful to you for coming on tonight and being part of our broadcast. I gotta ask you. So we have this big event coming up in May. I'll put you on the spot one more time. We'd love to have you back on the Fixed Ops Roundtable on the big event. Maybe you and I figure out what that's all about, what that segment would be, and let's do something at the event. Let's get Adam Marburger exposed to some more GMs and more dealers.
Let's do it.
The thing.
We'll do it maybe an office jiu-jitsu setting. Maybe we do jiu-jitsu on the showroom, or not. But yeah, no. Hey, I'm game. Here, Ted. Whatever you need, my friend. First of all, I'm here, nice chatting with you and Kara. It's nice, nice conversation. I love connecting with like-minded people. Anything you need, my friend, I'm here for you, period.
And we got 3 social media icons here, so I think it's a great thing. All right. Now, coming up next week on this broadcast on After Dark, next Monday night, we've got a great friend of the Fixed Ops Roundtable. It's Caesar Augustus from Dealer Scanning. Caesar's going to be with us, and he goes back to the original Fixed Ops Roundtable, one of the first people who ever joined us. So Caesar will be here. He's doing some great things all over the world with charities. He'll talk about that. And then, Kara, one of your all-time favorites, will be with us a little bit later in April. The great Tully Williams will be here.
Tully.
So Tully will be back with us, and he'll be live. So we look forward to getting everybody's questions and going through all that. So appreciate all that. And look at this, some great accolades coming in here. From Sean Butler, awesome learning experience. Thank you for sharing, Adam. Tim Wilson, your passion is over the edge. Congrats.
Thanks,
so, you know what? The stuff you do really makes a big difference. So thank you for sharing.
I appreciate that. I love what I do. I love it. Like we said earlier, it's not work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So with that, Kara, if you don't mind, once again, tell us, when is that next show coming up again?
Yes, it's coming up quick. May 17th, 18th, and 19th. It's going to be all virtual once again, so you can grab your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com to get in on all of the Star Wars themed fun as we let the Fort transform your dealership's fixed ops department.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. Kara, look forward to seeing you and Adam there as well. So Adam, thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes. So nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm gonna try some jiu-jitsu maybe.
Jiu-jitsu, you got it. Let's do it.
Yeah. You're inspiring.
Cool. Let's do it.
So nice to meet you. Thank you, Ted. Thanks to BG Products. And on behalf of myself, Ted, and Adam, thanks for joining us today. We'll see you next Monday at 8 p.m.